I'm Draven. I typically make high gain amp demos here on YouTube. And as you may have guessed from the thumbnail and name of this video, we're going to be checking out a super cool guitar built by Variable Guitars, which is a one-man operation here in Ohio. And this is their take on the kind of offset, like almost Jazzmaster-esque thing, which personally I think Jazzmasters look super cool. I don't typically like playing them though, since usually the body of them are like really big. This one has been scaled down quite a bit, and so it's a lot more comfortable to play, at least for me. And yeah, this is just a super like unique take on it, and I think it looks really cool. And so how I got in contact with Variable Guitars was recently I've started going to smaller guitar shows and stuff like that. And so a few months ago I was at a smaller guitar show, and while walking around the event there was tons of cool stuff, but Variable Guitars had a booth set up, and while I was looking around this guitar kind of stole my attention and I had to check it out. So we ended up talking a bunch, and I ran into Variable again at another guitar show. We talked about getting one of his guitars on the channel, which I definitely requested this one since it was something I really wanted to show people. And there was also one huge reason that I wanted to show off his guitars, which we'll get into later in the video. But first let's go through the specs and stuff. And so this is a black Limba body with this like really nice like edge burst. I don't really know what to call that kind of thing. And it's got a African mahogany neck, and the neck shape is a like thin C, which is really easy to play. The fretboard is a spalted zebra wood, which is something I don't think I've ever seen, but it looks really cool. And so for pickups it has bootstrap screwdriver P90s in it, which I've played a couple of P90s and I never really got along with them, but with this set I actually really like these. I feel like they have like an almost normal humbucker sound to them, but a little different, and so those are really cool. And then one of my favorite things about this guitar is actually the Godot trem bridge. I have a Floyd on my Jackson Kelly that I thought I really liked, and then I played this and realized that I didn't like it, and this is way better. And with that, the locking nut is also Godot, and then the tuners are Godot auto locking tuners, which I've never used before. And so that's kind of the overview of all the specs and stuff. But yeah, other than that, I've had this guitar for about 2 weeks or so, and I've been playing it a ton. Been having a lot of fun with it. And then the last thing I wanted to mention is the price of these. Being a kind of, you know, handmade product, finding stuff like this that isn't $3,000 is pretty rare. And so this build specifically is $1,060, which if you've ever looked into kind of like semi or full custom guitars, that's definitely the lowest price that I've ever heard. And coming from playing a couple of other like custom guitars and really expensive guitars, this definitely like keeps up with them. And with this guitar specifically, I don't really have any gripes or anything. So with that all said, let's go ahead and check out a demo song with this, and then we'll go ahead and mess with a plugin and see just kind of what sounds we can get out of it. If you ended up enjoying this video, make sure to like and subscribe. And as always, I have some affiliate links down in the description, or if you want to pick something up, it helps me out a ton. Yeah, let's check it out.